Dementia patients get the best care is priority for family members who have loved ones battling this disease. And for family members caring for their loved ones, they need a little advice on how to cope and get through the entire process. Dementia care patient, or actually dementia care manager who cares for patients, Molly Boone, is here to share some tips with you this morning. So based on what you know, Molly, tell us what are some of those things that impact the community. What impacts dementia patients? Exactly how many?
Well, in Georgia alone, we have currently about 130,000 people who are living with dementia. That is actually going to increase within the next decade by about 45%, so that's a huge number.
That's a big jump.
As we are getting more people who do have Alzheimer's disease or other dementias, we're finding that we have more and more caregivers taking on the role of lead caregiver taking care of their loved one.
So the need to know is definitely increasing, as well as we can see the statistic is increasing.
Absolutely.
So if people are caring at home, how can they care for their patient?
Well, first they want to make sure that they are providing the best care that they can. It's hard sometimes to separate your loved one from the disease, so it's always important to remember that they are suffering from a disease, and we do help them out a lot.
So you need to look for resources, right?
So we're going to look for resources. Check out your local community, so the Alzheimer's Association. Also, there's different adult daycares that may help. We have in-home care providers that can also help you. And then on top of that, you know, you want to make sure that you take care of yourself, which is the one that we forget.
That's very important, because a lot of times people get lost in the fact that they're caring for someone who is, needless to say, needs the help.
Yes.
So you have to make sure that you have a balance, right?
Yes.
So, and then the last one, you were talking about just making sure that you just reach out for help. If there's anyone that can help you, you know, make sure that you get Brookdale on board, or anyone else, right?
Yes. Make sure that you're ready to reach out. Sometimes we wait too long, and it's really better and more beneficial for the individual to make the transition sooner before some sort of catastrophic event happens where they do need to have a residential living community.
So what are a few different approaches to providing some of that care that you're talking about?
Well, you know what, the person with dementia, they're affected by the disease in a way that we can't see.
Okay.
So we want to make sure that we're going wherever they're going, instead of assuming that the individual or your loved one is having memory problems and they're forgetting you. Go where they are in that moment. Validate how they're feeling. Don't try to bring them back into our world. It's hard for us to separate mom from the disease, so make sure that we're going wherever mom is. And sometimes mom may be sister, sometimes mom may be daughter, and that's where you go with them. That's where you go that day.
So Brookdale does a lot over there, right? You guys make sure that you have specialists and people who can train families as well, too. Talk a little bit about that real quick.
Yeah, so Brookdale has, well, we are the largest senior living provider in the country. We provide memory care for one. There's actually a community in Macon, and it's specialized for residents with Alzheimer's. It's secured, but it's in a community where they're free to move, free to have their own rooms done the same way. They're taken care of just as you would take care of them at home, but with staff who's trained on validation techniques and how to really care for your loved one.
Well, thank you so much, Molly, for sharing all of this information with us, okay? And for more information, you can visit www.brookdale.com.